guys. It's September 23rd, 2025. I actually have the day off today. It's the only day off I'm going to have in 2 weeks. And I'm going to be super busy the next month. One of my jobs, there was a glitch or something with billing, and now I've got like all these extra hours that I can work, which is actually kind of nice. But yeah, it's gonna mean I'm gonna be super busy because I'm gonna be basically working full-time hours for like a month instead of part-time, which I normally do. But it'll be nice because I need some extra anyway. So after getting this tattoo, and you can see it's not fully healed yet, it's still got the bandage on. I have to keep this on until Wednesday. But after realizing that it's actually not that scary and not crazy painful to get a tattoo, I really want to get another one that I've been thinking about for years. And so I texted the artist that did this one, and I showed her my design. I actually painted it onto my arms, or onto my arm with because it like goes down my whole arm. I painted it on with face paint, and I was like, hey, how much could you do something like this? And she's like, oh yeah, absolutely, I'd love to. And so we scheduled it from a little over a month from now, because it is a 4-hour drive, and I can't just, she's like, I could do it on Tuesday. And I was like, oh, that would be fabulous, but I can't get there on Tuesday. So I scheduled it out to a little over a month from now, and me and the boys are gonna take another trip down there. And she said that the tattoo will take like half the day. So the boys will just, go do stuff around Mall of America. And it's like the day after my birthday and a week after Robbie's birthday. Well, a week and a half. And a week before Braytek's birthday. So I'm gonna give them some money to go pick out a birthday present while we're there. That should be a lot of fun. Because of the fact that I don't know if I'm gonna have much of a chance to film anything the next month, I'm going to do as much filming as I can today. In between like the other stuff I gotta do. Originally this week we were gonna be going to see my dad, who lives like 10 hours away from me, but I don't feel comfortable leaving the big boys that long right now because of everything they're going through. With my oldest almost getting unalived by his roommate a couple of weeks ago, and my second one, Robbie, getting home from the army about a month ago. They're both doing a lot better, but especially with Robbie, he's got a lot of anxiety, so I didn't want to leave him for that long, and we can't afford to take everybody. So the plan is now we're going to try to go out to see my dad in the spring after my second job ends, because that's going to end in the spring. What colors do I want to do today? I'm going to be wearing a variety of outfits and stuff, so I think I'll do my makeup similarly to how I did it yesterday. It was really nice yesterday. I really like the way my makeup turned out. But yeah, things have been going pretty well for the most part. The weather's been kind of crappy. Rob had taken time off of work because we had been planning on going to see my dad, but now he's going to use that time to finish up some projects that need to get done before it starts snowing. Obviously I won't be much help on those projects because I'm going to be working all week. But I'm kind of glad that it's working out this way, because the extra that I'll be bringing in means that I can spend a little bit more on Christmas for the kids too. I like to make Christmas really big. Last year I made Christmas huge, partly because, you know, it was the first Christmas after Toke passed away, and I really wanted to just give my kids something to focus on. And also, Robbie had come home from the army for a little while. He was home for about almost 2 weeks. After he had finished AIT. And so we went big for Christmas. The little kids got a whole bunch of presents to open. And the bigger kids, the teenagers, I took them to the trampoline park. And we had a lot of fun. This year I'm probably giving my adult kids cash, because it's, you know, really hard to buy them like trinkets and stuff when they have like legitimate needs like bills and stuff. And then the younger ones, teenagers, will get kind of a mix of cash and gifts, and then little kids will get presents to open. Last year I screwed up a little bit because I started buying presents too early, and then like I started Christmas shopping in like August last year. And the thing about little kids is that they could be like hyper interested in something 1 month and completely hate it a month later. And that's where I went wrong. The one thing that I really screwed up was the gifts that I bought for Corbin were based on his interests in the summer. And by the time Christmas came around, he wasn't really interested in that stuff anymore. So he was disappointed. What I ended up doing was, when he didn't like the gifts I gave him, I always want to make sure my kids are happy on Christmas and birthdays. So when he didn't like it, I was like, okay, well, you know what, we'll just return this and get you what you want. And so that's what I did. But this year I'm gonna shop closer to Christmas, even though that means missing out on some potentially really good deals. I want to make sure that everybody's happy. And when I was a kid, I only remember a couple of times actually getting something I asked for on Christmas. And I'm not like trying to be like selfish or anything here, but one of the things that my mom did was that she would get me Christmas gifts and then 2 days, 3 days later take them back to the store. Or my dad would send gifts and my mom would return them to the store. And one year her husband took my Christmas gifts when he found out he couldn't return them to the store, and he burnt them. He made a fire outside, like a bonfire, and he burned them. So as a kid, Christmas and birthdays was often disappointing. In fact, here's a story. One year on my birthday, I was like 9 or 10, or I was turning 9 or 10, and I really, really wanted this stupid little cat doll. It was called Kitty Kitty Kitten, and it had marbles in its head. It was like $10, and I've seen it every day when I would go to the grocery store, because well, not every day, obviously I wasn't in the grocery store every day. The grocery store was connected to the hardware store. You could walk right through it, and there would be that Kitty Kitty Kitten, and I would go there every day, and I would, or not every day, but like almost every day, and look at it and be like, I really, really want this. My mom and my grandpa, they knew how much I wanted it. It came in a very specific shaped box. And my mom and my grandpa decided to pull a prank on me. They created a box that was very similar, wrapped it up, stuck it in the living room. Oh, I was absolutely certain that I was getting the toy that I asked for, and I was so excited. Every single day I was so excited. I could, thank you, thank you, thank you. My birthday comes around. My mom and my grandpa are sitting there, almost giddy with excitement. I had cake and ice cream, and my neighbors were there, and then it finally came time to open the present. I was so excited. I opened it, and immediately something was off. It wasn't the box that I thought it was. In fact, it was mostly empty. And the only thing inside of it was a used cassette tape with one song on it. And the song was Joshua Fought the Battle of Jericho. I knew better than to cry, because usually if I cried, it was, stop crying, I'll give you something to cry about. So I had this tape in my hand, and I bit my lip, and I tried so hard not to cry. And my mom said, you better be grateful, you little bitch. I was 9 or 10. I was devastated. I just forced a smile, said thank you, went and put the tape in the radio player thing, the thing that, whatever you call it, tape player, cassette player, sorry. And I turned it on full blast and cried myself to sleep. That's the kind of experiences I had on birthdays and Christmas. So I do my damnedest to make sure my kids have a happy birthday, happy Christmas, that they get something that they really want. And if I disappoint them accidentally, I go to great lengths to fix it. On their birthdays, I always get so excited that I end up giving them their gifts ahead of time. In fact, I sort of do a thing, like their birthday presents are never a surprise, because I ask them specifically what they want, and I make sure to get something that they ask for. Now, I can't always get the most expensive thing. So I have them give me a list of like the top 5 things that they want, and I do my best to get, if I can't get the top thing, then the next one, you know. And I give them a price limit. Obviously, the younger ones don't necessarily understand how much things cost, but I'll set at the beginning of the year, I'll be like, okay, this is how much I can spend on birthdays, and I'll make sure I spend the same amount on everyone. And Christmas is the same. I spend as close to exactly the same amount on each kid as I can. And I start preparing for it ahead of time. There was one year that I couldn't buy presents at all. And it was because we thought we were going to be buying a bigger house. It was a farmhouse. And we were buying it from family, which immediately made me nervous because we had already gone that route. And the first house we tried to buy was from the same family member. And it was a disaster, not because of us, but we ended up not getting that house. And I was like, I really didn't want to jump into that again with Rob's family. But he insisted. And so we put everything into trying to get this house, and we were negotiating for months. And it turned out they were just, well, here's what happened. We had signed all the papers. They pulled our credit scores so many times over the course of like 6 months that the rate for the loan kept going up. We were in our last shot. This was going to be the last chance that we could afford the home loan at that time. We had a buyer for this house, which we had to cancel after this. You need something, baby? Good morning. Are you just going to cuddle up in Mama's bed? Okay, here, I'll turn off the light for you.
No.
No? Okay, give me 5 minutes, okay? Anyway, so we ended up having to cancel the sale of this house. Fortunately, we weren't that far into it because when they did what they did, our credit score had been trashed at that point and we could not get a loan for a different place. So anyway, we get to where, you know, everything was negotiated and we had signed the papers and they wanted to sign separately. It was the week before Christmas, and then we didn't hear anything from them for like a month. And finally we're like, what the heck, are you guys gonna sign this or not? And you know what they said? You didn't think we were gonna really sell the house to you, did you? Now this house had handicap access. It was all set up. It would have been perfect for Teal. They said, we just wanted to screw with you. Take it to Rob's dad. And I was like, wow, you guys are horrible people. Why would you do that? Like, we didn't do anything to them. That was in 2015. That's pretty much when I stopped talking to most of them. At this point, I'm glad that we didn't get that house because honestly, it was on the same road that all of them lived on and everything. But like, it was such a cruel joke. And it was hurtful. And that year, I didn't have any Christmas presents for my kids because of that whole thing. The house was supposed to be the present, you know. We were gonna, because it was gonna be a huge house, and we were gonna had enough space for all the kids to have their own bedrooms and everything. And so that was gonna be the thing, right? But it didn't work out that way. And the next year, this very, very kind woman adopted our family for Christmas and sent us so many gifts. That was incredible. But yeah, I'm always trying to make sure I make the holidays amazing. Even like Easter and other holidays, like my kids, I go to great lengths to make it fun. Anyway, I'll see you all real soon. Have a good day.